26, the 100-year life. Why we lived longer, but not that long. The prediction, what we thought. As the 20th century wound down, a bold promise hovered in the background of popular science. Children born around the year 2000 would routinely live past 100, not as rare outliers, as a norm. Advances in medicine, nutrition, genetics, and public health were expected to compound into radical longevity. Aging itself would be slowed, managed, or partially reversed. Lifespans would stretch dramatically, and the idea of a natural limit to human life would fade. In this future, turning 100 would feel like turning 70 once did, remarkable, but no longer shocking. Standing in 1999, this prediction felt aspirational rather than absurd. After all, life expectancy had already doubled over the previous century. Why wouldn't that curve continue? Why this prediction made sense in 1999? The confidence came from history. Throughout the 20th century, infant mortality collapsed. Infectious diseases were controlled, sanitation improved, nutrition stabilized, medical interventions expanded. Each decade added years to average life expectancy. The trend line pointed steadily upward. By the 1990s, this progress felt cumulative and unstoppable. If antibiotics, vaccines, and surgery could add decades, then genetics, regenerative medicine, and biotechnology could surely add more. This belief aligned perfectly with the millennium-era optimism that biology was entering its engineering phase. Aging was increasingly framed as a disease, something to be treated, delayed, or cured rather than accepted. For younger readers today, it's important to note how persuasive this logic was. The idea of a 100-year life didn't feel speculative. It felt like extrapolation. The future, it seemed, would simply continue doing what the past had already proven possible. Who said it, and where? This expectation was widely reflected in mainstream media during the 1990s, including prominent coverage by Time magazine in 1996, which explored the idea that modern science might soon push human lifespan toward or beyond the century mark. These articles didn't always make precise claims. Instead, they conveyed a mood. Longevity research was accelerating, and the old limits no longer seemed fixed. The framing mattered. When a general interest publication discussed radical lifespan extension seriously, it signaled that the idea had moved beyond fringe futurism into public imagination. By the late 1990s, living to 100 felt less like fantasy and more like an approaching milestone. What actually happened 2000 to 2025? People did live longer, but not radically longer. Between 2000 and 2025, average life expectancy increased modestly in many countries. Survival rates improved for numerous diseases. Quality of life improved for many older adults. But the dramatic leap toward routine centenarianism did not occur. Life expectancy gains slowed. In some regions, they plateaued or even reversed due to inequality, lifestyle disease, pandemics, and social stressors. While the number of people reaching 100 increased, it remained exceptional rather than typical. Crucially, medicine proved far better at preventing early death than at slowing aging itself. People survived illnesses that once killed them, but they still aged. Chronic conditions accumulated. Biological limits asserted themselves. Extending lifespan turned out to be very different from extending health span. By 2025, the idea that most people would live to 100 felt premature. Verdict: status, false. Radical longevity did not materialize. While life expectancy increased incrementally, the prediction that 100-year lifespans would become routine was not fulfilled. Aging remained the dominant biological force. Why it played out this way? The central mistake was assuming that aging is just another disease. In reality, aging is a system-wide process involving genetics, metabolism, cellular damage, and environmental interaction. Slowing it requires interventions at multiple levels simultaneously. There was also a ceiling effect. Many early gains in life expectancy came from eliminating premature death. Once those were addressed, adding additional years became harder, not easier. Finally, social factors mattered. Longevity isn't determined by medicine alone. Stress, inequality, diet, and lifestyle exert enormous influence. Technology cannot outpace society indefinitely. The future didn't stop progress. It revealed diminishing returns. What this prediction teaches us about the future. This case underscores a crucial forecasting lesson. Trend continuation is not destiny. Just because something improved dramatically in the past does not mean it will continue improving at the same rate. Biological systems, in particular, resist indefinite extension. In 1999, living to 100 symbolized mastery over aging. In 2026, it symbolizes aspiration. Still pursued, still researched, but far from guaranteed. The future delivered longer lives. It did not deliver long enough ones to rewrite what it means to grow old. One sentence takeaway. We added years to life, but not enough to make 100 the new normal.